nation of Israel is mourning today the loss of many of its citizens as the first anniversary of October 7th is noted. A memorial gathering of Osage families taking place in Ayarkon Park in Tel Aviv was originally planned to host up to 40,000 people, but due to the security matters, is being reduced to just the family members, foreign press, and few people related to the staff members of the event. Israel is on high alert. Attacks and rockets have been frequent today, and a short while ago, an attack of a ballistic missile targeted the center of Tel Aviv and the neighboring sides of the city, coming straight from Yemen. This was shocking and marked a very complicated and traumatic day.
Sometimes I think that a year has already passed by. Everything here changed. All the things that used to be here ceased to exist. So I demand everyone to remember what it used to be like here and those who are not with us anymore.
A musical event took place despite the tense atmosphere focused on shedding light on the tragic circumstances that occurred that day. The families' voices sounded intermittently between the music, paying homage to those who have been lost or remain in captivity. This is a very tough evening since it's been the worst moment ever for our country. This night we pay homage to each family in Israel.
A year later, our soldiers still fight in Gaza and Lebanon. May God protect them. 1 year later, the pain enlarged even more, and the memory stayed strong. The memory of him wearing the uniform, their beautiful memory with a smile on their faces, their memory a second before their wedding, and his memory enjoying life. So many memories, so much love.
There is endless pain. We choose to tell this evening the story of that Sabbath as it is mourned by the families of the dead ones, the families of the hostages, the families of the wounded ones, and the families of the oppressed. This is the story that brings us all together from left to right, from the south to the north, religious and secular, Jewish and non-Jewish, everyone who lives together here. While famous Israeli artists like Corinne Alal, Gali Atari, Karen Peles, Miri Mesika, Ran Denker, Aviv Geffen, Shalom Chanoch, and so many more took the stage in front of the audience, videos of some family members recalling their loved ones intertwined throughout the event, like the testimony of the brother of Carmel.
The first thing that comes to my mind is that despite seeing the destruction and rubble, this is still their house. This is the place where my mother was murdered. Carmel was my oldest sister. As a child, as far as I was concerned, many things shaped my life and identity, and this accompanied me throughout the struggles. Carmel always made a difference. She reached out to so many people, and this shouldn't have happened to her. This is terrible for anyone who knows how she is. My mom and Carmel, I am sure they're in the same place together.
Some families of the hostages took the stage to send a general message to the world and to demand the immediate return of all the ones still held in Gaza.
On the 7th of October 2023, 7 members of my family were kidnapped from Kibbutz Be'eri, including Tal, my son. 3 family members of mine were murdered. Some of the hostages returned home after 50 days with the first deal, but Tal and other 100 hostages have been held in captivity for a year, a terrible year. Tal's children, Niv and Yael, keep asking us where their father is, when he will return, and if he returns, he will be older. In what country do you hear these questions from children of the ages of 9 and 4? On the Shabbat, we went through a Holocaust. There were many heroes among us. The nation is waiting for the next move, the rebirth stage. We know that there won't be any rebirth until we have a Shabbat with the abductees home. I am reading this in front of all the world leaders to prioritize the immediate release of the hostages in a deal that includes everyone. I am in contact with families who have lost people that day and wish a fast recovery to the wounded ones, and the last words to go to my son Tal, my beloved son, if you hear me. We miss you so much, and we are doing everything to bring you home and all the hostages. We are not giving up on you and everyone's return.
Not only Jews were affected that day, but also Arabs living in the country who lost someone as well, like Awad, an Arab Israeli who was part of the medical team at the Nova Festival.
For us, Awad was the youngest son at home, our light, our life. Those who fill the house with warmth and love know how to raise a son with good values, who always help others, have endless energy, and tons of dreams. He wanted to be a doctor and also a chef. He wanted to build his own home and enjoyed staying with his family. After 6 days of uncertainty, we returned home with the ambulance. Now I hear the words that, as a mother, I used to tell to him in Arabic. A language that now must be hard to hear, but it's the language that we grew up with and the language that we dream in, and hopefully a language that will bring peace and love to all of us. Be a gift for heaven. The time with us was short, but it left a great and meaningful mark. This taught us to love and care for each other and not to keep hatred and jealousy inside of us. Thanks to you.
The memorial gathering ended with Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, playing, people hugging each other and comforting one another. Silently, the crowd walked through the exit in a heavy atmosphere of sorrow and commotion. 101 hostages remain still in Gaza, and hopefully they will be back home soon.
From Tel Aviv, Giorgio Valente reporting for the Media Line.